Hi everyone, this is Snoopy from DNB Academy, and in today's video we're going to check the brand new plugin from Arturia DIST COOLDFIRE. This is a dual engine distortion that combines multiple algorithms with filtering, dynamics, and modulations. So first we're going to have a quick overlook of the plugin, and then I'm going to show it in action with a couple of sounds that I put together, turning this, and keep in mind it might sound bad. Into this. Also, before we get started with the video, make sure you get subscribed to the channel and keep notifications of our future videos. And if you want to support the channel, consider grabbing one of our products at dnbacademy.com. We have great preset packs, producer bundles made by pro artists like Icicle, Current Value, Abyss, Mastec, and many more, showing you how to make a track from start to finish with all project files, presets, samples, etc. included. So that being said, let's get into the video. So this is a very versatile plugin. It can generate from soft analog distortion to add texture to your sounds to extreme digital distortion, creating a new palette of harmonics and noises. Although being a complex plugin, it's really intuitive and easy to use, and what you see is what you get, and I really like that. So on the left and on the right, we have the two distortion models that include pre and post filtering for each. And in the pre-filter, you have 6 modes to choose from. The low pass, band pass, high pass notch, and really cool added features are the comb feedback and comb feed front filters. In the middle section, we have the routing that includes 5 different ways of combining both models. You can do it by serial, parallel, stereo, mid-side, and band split. And you also have a fader to mix and blend them together as much as you like. Over here, dynamic section, we have a compressor with 3 types of compressing, compressor, regular one, multiband, and a limiter. On the feedback, you can choose the sources, A, B, or both, kind of filter, notch, or color, and the time mode, where you can sync, unsynced, or triplets, and all that. Then over here in the master section, you have the input-output. Then they can be linked if you press here. You see that little thing over there, and they will be linked. And we'll have the color. They'll be left for a bit darker sound and right for brighter sounds. And the dry-wet signal. And then in the bottom is the model section that includes 6 slots with 4 different types of modulations. The LFO, function, follower, and sequencer. Like the usual LFO, in function you can draw freely whatever you like. The follower works as an envelope that will follow the dynamic of the sound. And for last, we have the sequencer, where you can go really crazy about it and create awesome rhythms with it. Now let's check the distortion algorithms that we have available. We have 5 digital algorithms and 6 analog ones, like the digitals are bit inverter, bit crusher, wave folder, rectifier, and wave shaper. And then the analogs transformer, force, tape, tube, germanium, and transistor. Now let's open the analyzer and check the different algorithms that we have available. Let's start with the bit inverter. This was a clean sine. And now we're going to start inverting the bits. And how it works, it starts from the highest to the lowest. So there's a number of combinations that you can achieve. An easy way to get those dirty subs. Next, we're going for the reed crusher. We can achieve really cool noises with this. We also have here the modes, soft or hard. Some of the distortions have this. Different modes to go for, like in the wave folder. So here are the different types. We can go for soft bounce, hard bounce, howl. As you can see, we have many to choose from. We'll fold these ones. It's nasty. Goes for fat one. Okay, next. We have the rectifier. Also a good one. More settled, that one. A wave shaper. These bring out a lot of harmonics as well. And we have to choose from many things. Soft clipping, diode. There's many kinds of distortions here inside the wave shaper. So as you can see, there's a lot to choose from. Next, let's go into the analogs. And the transformer. This works more like a saturator. Let me try. So you can get really cool feelings. This one might work fine with some pads or maybe keyboards or stuff like that, and gives that extra warmth. And you can choose between iron and nickel. Being nickel a bit softer and iron a bit harsher. Next we have force. Force is the overdrive. But then we have some extra, like the even, the odd, and thick. Mainly the even works more on the second harmonic, the odd on the third, and thick works with both of them. Next, tape, just a tape emulator. Really cool to add texture to instruments and stuff like that. Your tubes. Replicates like a valve amp. And you have triad and penta to choose from. Different circuits. And you can blend them together, what is really cool. Next, from tube we have germanium. This one is really cool. And if you switch it to mic, I can see using this one a lot. Okay, next. Transistor. It is what it is. Just emulating the transistor preamp. Plain and simple. That's why I say this is a very versatile plugin, because you can have some really harsh distortions and creating a lot of new harmonics and a lot of sounds, digital sounds and noises. But at the same time, you can just color and add texture to subtle things and to instruments and stuff like that, even vocals if you like. So now let's go and talk a little bit about modulation, how to assign it. It's really, really easy, really straightforward. So let's use this. Let's use the germanium. I like that. So germanium, just grab it here. And then we just go and I like this assign button and move over the mouse over the sides of the knobs and just to adjust the desired amount of modulation that you want for the sound. And now we can add even more. Now let's go to the B engine and add some modulation to that as well. So let's grab the bit inverter for this one. So let's add a new modulation slot to this dry-wet signal. Just press assign. Just choose the amount desirable on the knob. And let's select the waveform for a triangle for this one. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, and almost every knob is assignable to the modulations. Almost everything, just a couple of things that are not. But yeah, this is really cool. So okay, let's go for the project now, and let me show you examples, like proper examples of how you can use this plugin in different situations, from pads to drums and basses. So we're in the project now, and let's see the Coldfire in different situations. So first we have here in the pad, just had like a plain pad, and with Coldfire we added that extra warmth and noise. In this case I want it to be dirty. You have the sensitivity, you can adjust it. Around here it's cool, because this one is modulated to assign to the drive of the germanium, and also a little bit to the dry wet of the bit inverter. One thing that I did, I used some presets, and I started from there and then reshaped them as I feel they would sound better with the sound. And they actually have really good presets in this pack, so they're really cool to start from. You can find them over here, you can find them by types, styles or banks, and there are plenty to go for and plenty to choose from. So it's a good way to start to know the machine, and then you start doing your own. So over here in the arpeggiator, I just copy it the same. That way I'll have the same texture like in ambience or something like that. And it's exactly the same one. Down here in the drums, I added a few, like 2 of them, not a few. So the first one was to give strength to the drums, because I removed a little bit with transients, like we have the original. Then I sharpen it with the transient to get it tighter, and then that way I can get it a little bit more dirtier now with the distortions. If it was without transient. You see? Okay. So this one I just use germanium and a bit of drive, just tweaked it a little bit, and it was fine. On the second one, let me open this. I used the feedback to create some delays. So let's have a look. I did it here in automation, and let's have a listen. Okay, pretty cool. And then I added some filtering. That's what you guys hear. So pretty cool. Next, I had here the main bass that I use it. You heard it before. Let me show you. Okay, and what we did was this. Pretty cool, this one. What I did, I tweaked a couple of things. We have the assign here in the frequency. That one was already assigned. I just tweaked the values and the modulation to fit in my bass. And then on the second half, I changed the rate. So really easy to work with. Let's see. Okay, but here, this one here on top, if you listen without, that you heard in the beginning, it's exactly the same bass. But what I did with this was I had a distortion, and this way it sounds like this. Let me solo this. So I created a riser, kind of a noise riser, with the bass. So that's how cool this is. This one, I want to test the fill to a clean sub. Oh. In this case, I added some bit inverter and some bit crusher. And I have a little bit of modulation here, creating that effect. So let me solo this. So that's a good difference. Really smooth. But the one that actually blew my mind was this one, because it's just a simple saw, and it got transformed into this. Really, really cool, nasty and fat. So just with the germanium, I told you earlier that I was going to use this a lot. And some modulation, that way with the envelope and in the output. And that creates that really, really nasty sound that you heard. That's got nothing to do with the original. We have this kick over here as well. Kick that I draw with some pitch envelope. Okay, and then adding the distortion. Got really fat one and dirty. So I hope you enjoyed this small review of the Arturia DIST COOLDFIRE. I had a lot of fun using it, and this one is going straight for my favorites for sure. A really powerful distortion plugin that can achieve endless distortion combinations with the two engines and all the available features in the plugin. So big up for Arturia for having this great plugin. And that being said, I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next videos.